Namaste. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, in today's class, we will read a story. And before reading a story, let me draw your attention to a picture. Let's see. Have a look here on this. Okay. Dear students, you can look at this picture. I think you can see it. You can look at the picture in a book also. The same picture is copied here. So before reading the story, let me ask you some questions. How many people can you see there? How many? Okay. 1, 2, and 3. You can clearly see it. 3 people are there. And this means by looking at the picture, you can guess who they are or what their relationship is. Right? So the middle one is a little bit older woman. That means we can guess probably this older woman is grandmother. Maybe the other woman sitting next to her is mother. And this little child, or we can say a boy is there, maybe grandson. So, do you have a grandmother at your home or in your family? Maybe some of you have, or some of you might have already lost. Okay, in our family, grandparents, especially grandmother, is very loving. Grandparents are loving, no wonder, and even out of them, grandmother is very much loving. She is caring, and that's why we miss grandmother, or we love our grandmother for her love, for her care, attention, or sometimes for bedtime stories, right? So, can you guess what our today's topic is by looking at this picture? In Unit 14, we have one story, the reunion of the family. And this is the story we're going to read today. And without any further delay, let's begin the story. I would like to show you some slides here. Okay, please have a look at the slides on the screen. Reunion of the family. Here, okay, Dinesh. Grandma yelled Dinesh. Yelled means cried, shouted. Grandma, yelled Dinesh. Pavitra looked around and said, I'm here, Kanchu. Can you guess who Kanchu is? This Kanchu is Dinesh. The word Kanchu is a loving word for a baby, or say for a small boy. Kanchu, Kanchi, like that, right? So Kanchu is the loving word for Dinesh. Dinesh was perplexed when he saw his grandma packing so many bags. Now, from this beginning of the story, what do you see? You see, grandma is leaving home, or grandma is going somewhere. Why? Because she is packing so many bags. Means she is ready to go somewhere. Where are you going, grandma? Dinesh asked. Pavitra looked at her 8-year-old grandson. Your uncle's house. Means grandmother said she is going to her younger son's house. That means Dinesh's uncle's house means grandma's younger son's house, right? Are you going there for a long time there? Asked Dinesh. Means Dinesh is curious to know where grandmother was going, because grandma was really loving, grandma was really caring. And dear students, let me show you the names of characters here in the story. Number 1, Dinesh is there, as I introduced there. Kanchu means everybody calls Kanchu there in the story, but real name is Dinesh. Second character is Pavitra. Pavitra is the real name of grandma or grandmother. Number 3 is Jairam. Jairam is Dinesh's father. And number 4 is Junkiri. Junkiri is mother of Dinesh. And the fifth character is Binita, and a middle-aged woman who is also called Nani in the family. Especially Dinesh calls her Nani. Binita is middle-aged servant woman, or we can say housekeeper. So these are the few characters here in the story. And Dinesh, as you know, is a small boy, 8 years old boy. Grandmother is there, loving and caring, and she is leaving the family, she is leaving home and going somewhere, and Dinesh is worried about it. Dinesh is worried. Now let's move on to the next slide. Pavitra didn't reply. See? Pavitra didn't reply but continued packing her things. At the moment, his mother, Junkiri, arrived looking very stressed. Go to your room and check whether you have completed your homework. Don't disturb grandma, she said, staring at him. Staring means looking at somebody or someone or something for a long time. This is continuously looking at something, staring. So what Pavitra said? When Dinesh asked where she was going, Pavitra was speechless. She didn't speak a word, or this means she didn't reply. She did give the answer, but continued packing means she continued her job. She was just collecting things and packing in her bags. At the moment, his mother, who is mother? I introduced it earlier. Junkiri's mother. So Dinesh's mother, Junkiri, came there looking very stressed, looking very tensed, in a very tensed mood, with tension, full of tension. Go to your room and check whether you have completed your homework. Means go to your room and do your homework, mother said simply. Don't disturb grandma. Means the grandma was going somewhere, or grandma was unhappy or worried, and that's why Junkiri also doesn't want Dinesh to disturb her. Now, in the next paragraph, Dinesh went to his room. He was scared of his mother when she was in a serious mood. Means Junkiri was in a serious mood. She was looking very unhappy, very sad, distressed. And so what happened here? Dinesh was scared. Scared means frightened. This word scared means frightened. Frightened means afraid. A-F-R-A-I-D, afraid. So Dinesh went to his room. Why? Because he was afraid of his mother. Why afraid of his mother? Because she was in a serious mood. And after an hour, she called a taxi and loaded it with her luggage. Where are you, Kanchu? Come here, I'm leaving. Now this is the time grandma leaves home. Where are you, Kanchu? Means while leaving or before leaving, grandmother asked for what? Asked for Kanchu. Asked for Kanchu means asked for Dinesh. Means before leaving, she just wants to see her loving grandson. So, where are you, Kanchu? Come here, I'm leaving. And here, no sooner had he approached than she kissed and squeezed him tightly. No sooner had he approached means when Dinesh came there, came where? Came over the place that where grandma was standing there, grandma was there to go in a taxi. So she was probably in the street. No sooner had he approached than she kissed, means when Dinesh came, what grandmother did? Grandmother kissed her, means that was the loving kiss, and squeezed him means pressed. Squeezed means pressed. Dabaunu, अथवा छातीमा च्याप्ने भन्छ नि हामी. In Nepali we say मायाले च्याप्ने. So it is squeezing, pressing him tightly. What she said, put some money in his hand, means grandmother gave some money to Dinesh and got onto the taxi. Now grandmother is leaving. Now what happens? You can imagine the situation. It's very emotional, right? It's very sad. Why? Because a very loving grandmother is leaving the family. She is going somewhere, and even the grandson Dinesh does not know where she is going. Or he knows she is going to uncle's house, but he doesn't know when she will come back, right? Maybe she will not come back. He doesn't know. That's why he's worried. Grandma, when will you come back? Yes, this is the question Dinesh asked. Dinesh shouted as he vanished into the crowded city in the taxi. His question remained unanswered. It means Dinesh asked when she will come back, but what happened here? Dinesh shouted as he vanished, means he was just asking this question, but grandmother vanished. Vanished means here disappeared. This word vanished means disappeared. Disappeared means not to be seen. Means she went off from there in the taxi. Vanished. बिलाउनु भयो त्यहाँबाट हराउनु भयो means she just went in the taxi.
She went into the crowded city in the taxi. His question remained unanswered means nobody gave answer to his question. This is what the question remained unanswered means. Now, next paragraph. He returned to his father Jairam. Okay. He returned to his father Jairam and said, means where was Dinesh first? Dinesh was somewhere in the street, right? He went to the street to say goodbye, to bid farewell to grandmother. And after that, after she just disappeared into the crowded city, the boy came back to the house, means to the place where father Jairam was there. He returned to his father Jairam and said, Daddy, stop her or let me go with her. Why hasn't she taken me? When will she come back? These are the questions in a row. Means he asks these questions frequently, one after the other. Daddy, stop her, let me go. Means either stop her or let me go with her. Means I can't be alone or I can't stay alone. I need my grandmother, Dinesh said, because Dinesh loves grandmother very much. And grandmother also loves him very much. So, stop her or why hasn't she taken me? Means why grandmother went alone? When will she come back? Means even I don't know the date or I don't know when she will come back. These are the questions. Why? Because the boy Dinesh was very much worried, very much sad at the time of grandmother's departure. Grandmother went away, left the family, right? Now, next paragraph. Jairam held his hand. Means father held means here, caught his hand, means took his hand in his own. This is Jairam held his hand, entered the room and said, means the father also knew that Dinesh was really unhappy. So what he did then, entered the room, or means took him to the room and said, she has gone to your uncle's house. How could she take you with her? You should be anxious about your study and exam. I don't know when she will come back. How irresponsible types of questions, Means Jairam himself doesn't know when she will come back or whether she will come back or not. Or when he found the little boy, 8-year-old boy Dinesh, worried about grandma or grandma's departure, father simply said, just pay attention to your study. Means don't get focused on what your grandmother does. Simply be anxious, or means you should be anxious about your study. Means you should be careful, you should be attentive to your study and exam, not about your grandmother. This is how he deviated, means he took him away from the present story. This means he wants Dinesh to forget about grandmother. Maybe there are some reasons why it happened, we'll know it later in the story. Okay, next. Grandma loved him very much. He used to sleep in her lap playing with her grey hair and caressing her wrinkled face. She used to tell wonderful stories at his bedtime. She was a good storyteller. How could we forget her? It means, in this paragraph, what do you know? You know about what common grandmothers do, Even in our family, our grandmothers used to be very much loving or caring, and they used to tell stories at bedtime, and that's why they are very much loved by their grandchildren. That's why here, in this story also, the same thing happens here. Grandmother loved him very much. No wonder, every grandmother loves. He used to sleep in her lap. How loving it is, He used to sleep in her lap. Lap is the front part, of your leg. Kach in Nepali. Kachma bachcha ni bhन्छ ni. He used to sleep in her lap playing with her grey hair. Means it's very wonderful to play with grey, white hair of grandmother. She's already old. And caressing. This caressing means touching. Caressing, touching with love. That is caressing. Or wrinkled face. Wrinkled face means the face with some wrinkles. Not smooth and soft. This is wrinkled. Chauri pareko. Wrinkle देख्ने फेसमा है. Grandmother is old, that's why she has got wrinkled face. She used to tell wonderful stories at his bedtime. Katha भन्नुहुन्थ्यो अरे राम्रो राम्रो. Wonderful means beautiful stories. She was a good storyteller. Most of the grandmothers, in our family, what they do, they are just like unwritten storybooks. They have so many stories to tell. And they tell us very wonderful and interesting stories. And all children, all grandchildren, love to hear or love to be with grandmother for this reason as well. So how could he forget her? Because she was very loving, and Dinesh could not forget grandmother. In her absence, what do you know? What happened here? In her absence means when grandmother was not there, when his school had holidays, school bida huda. Hey, when his school had holidays or vacation, Dinesh mostly spent the day with Binita. And who is Binita here? This Binita is a middle-aged woman who worked as a housekeeper for more than 20 years for his family. Look at this. Binita is also a part of this family. Binita is also a member of this family. Why? Because she has worked in the family for more than 20 years. As what? As a housekeeper. A housekeeper is a person who works in the family or who maintains the family, or say who does household works, household works to serve the family. So Binita is there like a servant, as a servant. And when grandmother is not there, who cares or who takes care of Dinesh? It is Binita. Binita takes care of Dinesh in place of grandmother. Her slim body. Now this is the physical description of Binita. Her slim body with straight long hair. Means what kind of hair was there? Straight long hair. Lamo kapalre. Slim body. Look at this. This is the beauty of a woman. Dimple on right cheek. Now another feature, another beauty. Dimple on the right cheek. Pointed nose and big black eyes. Thula thula aankhale, kala aankha. Pointed nose. Long pointed nose. Chuchu halko naak. Hey. Oval face. Oval face means the face like the shape of an egg. Anda ko jasto akar. Oval face with white skin and sweet, polite nature made her fascinating and loving too. Means like grandmother, Binita was also very much attractive, very much beautiful. And this is the physical description, you know it. Everyone in the family called her Nani. Not only Dinesh. Everyone calls her Nani. Nani is a like title name, here in the family. But her real name is Binita. So she used to take good care of him. Means Dinesh was taken care of by Binita. Okay, here it goes. Next. That afternoon, after school, Binita was giving Dinesh his food. Means on this particular day, what happened here? On this day, Dinesh came back from the school, and Binita, as usual, means as on other days, she was giving food to Dinesh. And that time, what happened? They were alone in the house. Means no parents, no Jairam, no Jankiri. Only these two people. Who were they? They were Binita and Dinesh. And what at the time of eating, what Dinesh says? Dinesh says, Nani, why has grandma gone to her younger son's house? Why did she take so many bags? Will she come back? Asks Kansu. Means Dinesh asks these questions. When will she come back? Or why did she take so many bags? Why not only a single bag? Or why has grandma gone to her younger son's house? Why didn't she stay here in our family? These were the questions, out of curiosity. He just wants to know all of them in secret. Maybe that it's because of love, because of attention, or say because of very close kind of connection with Binita, because he loves her very much, and she also loves him back, and that's why he just asked these questions about grandmother. And parents were not there, and that's why he asked. So I really can't say Kansu. I only know that she won't be coming back in the near future. So what Binita said? Vinita said, I can't say. But I know one thing, that she won't be coming very soon. Means she won't be coming back in the near future. छिट्टै चाहिँ आउनुहुन्न रे, पक्कै आउनुहुन्न, चाँडै चाहिँ भन्छन्. Okay, next. But why, Nani? Doesn't she love me? Means why doesn't she come? Why doesn't she love me? मलाई माया गर्नुहुन्न? This is the question. Of course she does. Nani says, means Vinita says. Of course she loves you. Then why did she leave me and go? But why did she go? Kiन गइन् त this way? Here comes next. I can't answer this question, she replied. Means Vinita says, no, I can't reply. I can't give you this the answer of this question. No, you have to answer it. If not, I won't have any food. See, this is a kind of blackmailing, emotional blackmail it is called. What Dinesh said? Dinesh said, no, you have to answer it. You have to answer my question. If not, means if you don't answer my question, I won't have any food. I won't eat any food. Blackmailing, look at this. Nani looked at Dinesh's innocent face and said, okay, I'll tell you, but you have to promise that you won't tell your parents. If they know, they will berate me. Berate means here scold, gali garnu. Berate, rebuke, reprimand. There are so many words. Berate means Nani looked at Dinesh's face. Dinesh was a very innocent kind of child. He was still just 8 years old, and that's why when Dinesh said you would not have or you won't have any food, then she felt like telling the real thing, really what had happened. And so, but you have to make a promise. You have to promise with me that you won't tell your parents. Parents are नभन्ने हो भने चाहिँ बताउँछु भन्ने आयो है यहाँ. If they know, they will berate me. They will scold me. गाली गर्नुहुन्छ नत्र. Okay, promise Nani, I won't tell anyone. This is the promise made by Dinesh. And here it goes next. Our family was a happy family. Now we start describing Vinita, that middle-aged woman or a housekeeper, starts describing the family here in this long paragraph. Our family was a happy family. There was only laughter in the family. Everyone envied our family, but it didn't last long when your grandma passed away 5 years ago. Look at the very sad, touching kind of line there, right? It was really a happy family, a good family, happy family. There was only laughter in the family. Means no sadness, no worries, no tension, only laughter, only smiles, only happiness. Everyone envied our family, but it didn't last long. Envied means here was jealous of. ईर्ष्या गर्ने, डाहा गर्ने. Everyone envied our family. सबले डाहा गर्थे रे. But it didn't last long. That happiness did not last long. Why? It's because of the death of grandfather. Means grandfather passed away. Passed away means died. Remember this phrase. Passed away means died. Grandfather passed away 5 years ago. After grandmother died, what had happened? In the family, the happiness was lost. Or that laughter was gone. त्यो हाँसो खुसी हरायो रे हजुरबाको डेथ पछि. Your grandmother started feeling that your parents paid no heed to her. Heed means here attention, care. See, your grandmother started, means after the death of grandfather, grandmother became alone, right? She was alone. And because of the feeling of loneliness, because she felt that she was alone, what she did? She felt that nobody cared for her. Nobody paid attention to her. Nobody listened to her. That's why parents paid no heed to her. Last night, while you were sleeping, there were arguments. हिजो राति झगडा पर्यो रे. This Vinita says, this lady said. Last night while you were sleeping, there were arguments. Why? He said, Miss Dinesh asked, why? Why there were arguments? I think there are various reasons. Now, Vinita starts unfolding the real things, unfolding what had happened and the last night. Grandma with age is getting quick-tempered. Means when one becomes older or when one gets older, one becomes, a bit quick-tempered. Quick-tempered means high-tempered, we can say, or angry. Quick-tempered means angry. So grandmother becomes angry. Grandmother has become angry. Why? It's because of the age also, age factor. Your daddy is busy at his business and your mom has to prepare documents, right? Documents on the computer for the next day. Means both father and mother, Jairam and Junikiri, they are busy in their own work, they are busy in the office works, and that's why grandmother felt that nobody loved her, nobody cared for her, or nobody paid attention to her. Due to their busy schedule, they did not have time to share each other's problems. This is a very common problem in present day world, right? No sharing is there. Why? Because they were busy in their own work, in their own business. So no sharing of each other's problems. Last night, when your daddy arrived late night, grandma said, "Why are you late nowadays?" Means daddy came late, and so grandmother asked a question to her son. "Why are you late nowadays? You neither pay attention to me nor to Kanchu. I don't want to see you late again." This is the warning given by grandmother. He got angry and said, means father got angry to hear this from grandmother, means from mother. "Don't bother me," means don't disturb me. I have to handle so many things. This is a part of debate or part of quarrel in the family the previous night. Okay, next paragraph. "Do you think I'm nuisance?" Means a kind of disturbance, hindrance. This is nuisance. Ma dher bhako? This is grandmother's question. "Do you think I'm a nuisance? I don't like to live with you any longer. I will go to my younger son's house tomorrow," she said. It means this is because of this quarrel, because of this kind of argument with the son, with Jairam. Grandmother decided to leave the family, to leave this home and move to younger son's house. This is the decision she makes. Now, and this is the story, telling, who was telling this story? Binita was telling this story to Dinesh. Now what happens here? Dinesh said, "Didn't my mom say anything?" Nani gestured. "Your mom was furious too." Mummy kehi bhannu bhayena yati hunda? Dineshले सोध्छ. So Nani gestured means Nani looked at him. "Your mom was furious too." Your mom was angry too. Furious means angry. She just added, "If you leave us now, never try to come back." Now there is another plus point, supporting whom? Supporting the husband. अब कहिले आउनु पर्दैन त्यसो भए. This is kind of warning. What did grandma say? Dinesh asked another question out of curiosity. "Sure, I will never come back." Means this is the word, this is the sentence said by whom? Said by grandmother. "Sure, I will never come back." Dinesh's eyes filled with tears while hearing this story from Binita. So what happened here? It's a very sad, a very emotional type of moment, time. Grandmother left the family. She has decided to leave the family because of that argument, that dispute with the son, with Jairam. And it's because of it's a feeling of loneliness of grandmother, because she feels that she is not paid attention, paid heed, and she is alone. And here next, Dinesh's eyes filled with tears means he is just crying. "I will never forgive my daddy and mom for this." Means he is angry for whom? Angry with daddy and mom. "Kanchu, you should not say so." Binita now consoles. "Kanchu, you should not say so. Don't say so. It's unfair. It's not good. Remember what you promised before." Again, ke bhaneko thiyo? Promise, the promise was that you won't tell anybody, about this. Keep to your word means do what you said, what you promised. It's not only your parents' fault. Fault means mistake. Not because of only your parents' mistake. It's it's grandmother's mistake too. It's a mistake of grandmother as well, not only the mistake of parents. The fault is on both sides. Galti dubai gare. Next. 6 months passed. Means it is the 6 months after grandmother left the family. Grandma would sometimes ring up and talk to him. Sometimes, grandmother would call, would phone whom? Phone Dinesh and talk to him. As soon as he said, "When are you coming, grandma?" she would quickly change the subject and start talking about something else. "When are you coming?" "कहिले आउने हजुरआमा?" भनेर सोध्ने बित्तिकै सब्जेक्ट चेन्ज गर्नुहुन्थ्यो नि, कुरा मोड्ने. This is would start talking about something else. Last Monday, 15 days before his annual examination of grade 3, his parents called him to their room. Means it was last Monday, 15 days before his final exam. Annual exam means this is the final exam, yearly exam of grade 3. His parents called him to their room and said, Dinesh, you have already scored distinction, but this time I want you to get the first rank, said Jairam. You have got distinction marks in the previous exams. Now this time you have to stand first in the class. You have to be first in the class. This is what Jairam said. Now mom also said, his mom also added, according to your class teacher, you can if you put a little bit more effort. Means if you try, you can do it. It is what? It is what your class teacher said. So this is a kind of encouragement. They encourage to study deeper, to study harder, and to stand first in the class. Now again, look on the screen. If you top the list, I will give you a prize, something which you desperately want, Jairam said. Desperately want means you are you want it to have with you. If you top the list means if you become first in the class, I will give you whatever you want. You desperately want. Jairam said, okay, daddy and mom, Dinesh replied. Dinesh put his full effort into his study. He took his exam. The result came out after 30 days. His parents did not have any words to express their happiness when they found he was second in his class. Now in the exam, what happened? In the exam, Dinesh stood the second. Means he became second in the class. Next. While they were returning home after collecting the results, they bought a tablet. You know tablet? It's in a short form, it is called tab only. Tab. It's like a mobile, bigger in size, and has the similar functions like playing games and watching videos, or it has many functions like that of a phone. So tablet, a technological device. They bought a tablet and put it in Dinesh's room. Gift ko rupma Dinesh lai tablet ल्याइदिनु भयो parents lai. As soon as he came home after playing with his friends, they said, congratulations Kanchu, you have been second. We are surprised. We have a surprise for you. Let's go in. But daddy, I didn't want to I didn't come first in the class. First of all, when Dinesh came, what they said, they gave congratulations. They offered him congratulations. Why? Because he had got second position in the class. So we have a surprise gift for you, father said. And what son said, no, daddy, I didn't come in first in the class. Means I didn't become first. I just became second. Why gift then? So next, it doesn't matter, Kanchu. You did a lot. Next time you are sure you can top the list. Means next time you can become the first. Thank you, daddy and mom. Let's go in. Now all of them get into the room. Why? Because there was gift. It was a surprise gift. Both entered the room. Jairam said, here's your surprise gift. In front of his eyes was a tablet. Junkiri, who was ready to capture his happiness in her camera, stopped when she noticed Dinesh staring at the tablet with a strange expression on his face. A strange expression. Expression is a kind of look on the face. Tablet देखेर पनि खुसी भएन क्या. He didn't become happy to see the tablet in front of him. He was not paying attention to the tablet anymore there. So, what's wrong with you, my Kanchu? Don't you like it? Junkiri asked her son, who took no notice of the tablet. Means Dinesh was not taking care of that tablet. Means not paying attention to tablet. So mother said, don't you like it? Don't you like it anymore? Why? Why are you sad? And Dinesh says, I thought it was grandma in the room. Means what Dinesh desperately wants? Dinesh desperately wants to see his grandma. And he thought, as a surprise gift, there could be grandmother in the room. That's why, hoping to see the grandmother in the room, he had entered the room, he had come in, but finally he just saw that tablet, and it was not meaningful. It was not very important for him anymore. Grandmother was more important than tablet for him. And that's why he wanted to see grandmother. So he was unhappy. Now again on the screen, One more time, said Dinesh, and walked out of the room. He just walked out of the room, didn't take that tablet. Puzzled, Junkiri and Jairam, puzzled means surprised. Junkiri and Jairam gazed at each other, means looked at each other. They were surprised. A week later, Junkiri took a half-day leave from her office and came home, and Jairam went to bring his mom back. Sorry, ma, we made a big mistake. Now, after 1 week of that incident, what happened? Junkiri came home earlier from the office, and Jairam went to take mother. And what he said when he met her mother, when he met his mother, he simply said, "Sorry, ma, sorry, mother, we made a big mistake. Let's go home. Your country is waiting for you." He always grumbles. It's grumbles. Sorry, grumbles. Grumbles. When is my grandma coming? Shared Jairam. Means Dinesh always asks about you. Please, let's go with me. Go with me. I have come here to take you. Jairam said to mother. As Jairam talked about Kanchu, when Jairam talked about Dinesh, she forgot the past. She forgot what had happened in the past and came home at once, means was ready to come home very quickly. When Dinesh came back home from school, he opened the door as usual, as always. He could not believe his eyes when he saw his grandmother standing and spreading her arms. Means there was grandmother in the house already, and she was standing there to welcome grandson with her arms wide. He threw his school bag down and rushed into her arms. "Grandma," he said, and embraced her. Embraced means hugged her. Angalo maryo. हजुरआमालाई देख्ने बित्तिकै ब्याग स्याग फालेर अङ्गालो मार्न पुग्यो. Nani, Jairam said, Junkiri. Okay, Nani, Jairam and Junkiri were watching the scene, and their eyes were filled with tears of happiness. Means everyone became very, they cried. They were happy, but that was the tears of happiness. That were the tears of happiness. They cried to see that love, that attachment between these two, grandmother and grandson. Later in the evening, while they were all sitting and having their supper, Grandma said to Dinesh, "Belka khana khane belama." Grandmother says, "Kanchu, when we adults sometimes behave like children, God uses little ones like you to teach us a lesson." ठुलाले गल्ती गर्दाखेरि साना बच्चाहरूलाई भगवानले पनि युज गर्दा रहेछन् रे एउटा पाठ सिकाउनलाई. ठुला मान्छेले पनि गल्ती गर्छन्. Grown up people also make mistakes, and when grown up people like us make mistakes, sometimes children help us to know, to understand that mistake. So does it mean you will never leave me again, Grandma? This is the question Dinesh asked. It means you are not leaving me anymore, right? So indeed, Kanchu, I will never leave you again. Grandmother promised. No, I won't leave you again. Jairam cuddled him. Cuddle means like hugged him and said, embraced him and said, "Without you, how can we be united?" Timi bhayen भने हामी कसरी मिलेर बस्ने फेरि. So this is because of Dinesh, the family is reunited. Grandmother again came home. They were all happy to see, to return that happiness in the family once again. And this is the end of the story. I think this story is really touching. This is a very emotional type of story. And everyone in the family has grandmother, and who loves grandmother loves loves this kind of union, that kind of happiness. And hoping to see you again. I think we'll do the exercises in our next class. Thank you very much. I hope you understood the story and you enjoyed the story. Read it once more, and get pleasure. So thank you very much for being with us. Hoping to see you again. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.